Back here at home, we're finally getting an idea about how much this war against ISIS might cost. Here's what Pentagon Press Secretary Rear Admiral John Kirby said yesterday. Take a listen.
The best estimate I can give you now is between $7 and $10 million per day, but that varies.
So do the math. If you multiply that number times the number of days until Congress gets back, you end up with more than $300 million. That's on the low end, nearly $500 million on the high end, and that's all before Congress walks back in the door. Joining me now, California Democratic Congressman Adam Schiff, member of the House Intelligence Committee. Congressman Schiff, thank you so much for being in studio. We really appreciate it. So the images are striking. You have the British Parliament debating this. They're going to vote on whether or not to approve airstrikes, and you are all on recess. Why not demand that the Speaker call you back? I know it's up to the Speaker, but you obviously are in favor of a vote, so why not do more?
Well, many of us are demanding that we go back into session. In fact, many of us opposed going out of session for the elections at a time when another war is beginning, a war the President says will last years. We shouldn't be in recess, and the British have a great deal to be proud of. The debate they're having over the war, that's exactly the debate we need to be having here at home. It's still my hope that we can do that, but the Speaker's comments yesterday threw a lot of cold water on that idea.
What are you doing specifically to demand that House Speaker John Boehner call you back? When's the last time you talked to him and reached out to his office and said, hey, we need to get back here and actually vote on this?
Well, many of us spoke out before we went into recess and urged the leadership to bring up a vote, to bring up a resolution. I, in fact, introduced an authorization to allow the President to go forward in Syria and Iraq, a narrow authorization. That's the kind of vote that we need. And in fact, I think it's deeply ironic for the Speaker to say that the President, well, actually to go to the length of suing the President, saying he has too much power and too much authority. Right. But on the issue of war, he's going to say, well, the President hasn't asked us to do anything. It's our responsibility. The Constitution doesn't say the President has to come to us. It says we alone have the power to declare war.
Congressman, why not get your other colleagues who are saying the exact same thing, come back to Washington, sit in your offices, call House Speaker John Boehner, get him on the phone and say, we're here. You come back, get the rest of our conference back. Why not do that?
Well, certainly some of us have stayed here to try to make that argument, to try to get Congress to resume, go back into session, take this up. As you could tell from what the Speaker said yesterday when he said this won't be taken up until next year, we're not having much success.
Yeah, what's your reaction to that, by the way? He says we're not going to take this up until 2015.
It's staggering. I had a colloquy on the House floor with the chair of the Armed Services Committee before we went into recess, saying we need to vote on this. We need to take this up. He made the same point. Let's wait until the next Congress. I think that's a terrible abdication of our responsibility, and it will affect not only this war effort, because if we can't, through the Congress, make sure the American public is on board, it'll affect this war effort. But it will also send a signal to future administrations that they can go to war without the Congress. And that is, I think, an incredibly dangerous precedent to set.
Congressman Adam Schiff, thank you so much for your time this morning.